bonitas, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review and wear test on the new Danessa Myricks Beauty Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. I am super excited to be checking this out because you guys know I love to review a good complexion product. So we have here the new. So let's just go ahead and get into this because I'm going to be doing a full-blown in-depth review, demo, and wear test to see how this does for the entire day. So if you want to see me transform using this new skin tint, then please go ahead and keep watching. Okay, bonita, so today we're getting a late start. It's about to be 3 p.m., but I will be wearing this for the entire afternoon, evening, and night, probably until like midnight. I waited so long because this just arrived in my mailbox today, and today is Saturday, so I'm like, I need to get this review out for mis bonitas. So this is a soothing serum skin tint with peptides and ceramides. This does retail for $36. I purchased mine on the Sephora app, and I did purchase this in the shade 6, which is great for medium skin with neutral undertones. This is a hydrating and smoothing skincare infused skin tint that provides light coverage and a skin-like radiant finish. The coverage is light, the finish is radiant. This is a liquid formula. This does contain vegan collagen peptides, which visibly smooth skin texture and plump fine lines, which I have texture, a good amount of it, so let's see how it does with that. This is fragrance free, which I'm very excited about because you guys know when you have sensitive skin, you need a good fragrance free product. And I have tried before the Yummy Skin foundation balm, and that was incredible, so I'm very excited to see how this is going to do. So I already went in with my skincare and all that good stuff to kind of see how all that does. I think today I just want to try this on my bare skin. And here you do get 1.58 ounces, so you get a good amount of product. So just put some on the back of my hand like that. It does look a little lighter, but we shall see. I will let you guys know I have been getting some solecito. I've been going to the pool a lot lately, so yeah, ooh, this looks like it's gonna have a lot of pigment in there. It does feel creamy, so it does feel a little bit more full coverage than I thought it would. We're gonna start off with one side with our sponge, and then the other side with a brush. Okay, it blends out immediately. This one is a little light. A little light. The next shade up is 7, and I was kind of thinking about getting the shade 7 because I feel like the shade 7 is medium skin with golden undertones. It blends very easily, and it is a very light formula. Because it's super creamy, I thought it was gonna be a little bit more full coverage, but it is fairly light. It's blending really nicely. It does have a little bit of a glow, but you guys can see very pretty. Let's do the nose because I do have some rosacea on the nose. I want to see how it covers that redness. Okay, it is covering the redness inmediatamente. It does look like skin once applied on. I like the fact that it has a radiance from within, but it still looks like skin. It looks like your skin, but better. Like a perfect everyday product. I'm actually very shocked. I thought it was gonna be much more full coverage just because the consistency does feel very creamy, but no, I feel like it's great. It's a great everyday coverage. And I mean, you can still see a little bit of my redness right here. So it doesn't cover completely, but I think just for like evening out, it does a phenomenal job. You guys can see, I do have texture. I don't think it's honestly doing anything for my texture, which I don't expect. I have prominent texture, so it's gonna be noticeable regardless. I do wanna build it up just a little bit right here in the areas where I do have some redness peeking through. I'm not expecting this to cover everything. I just wanted to see how it builds up. It's building up very nicely. And I'm just mainly targeting it right where we have those rosy cheeks. So this is the side with the sponge. I think the sponge did a really beautiful job of applying it. It looks like skin, it looks really pretty. I am curious to see how it'll do with a brush, see if I'll get more coverage faster with it. Because keep in mind, this is a damp sponge, so it is going to absorb some of that product that we may have on the skin, so we can kind of compare and contrast. But I mean, overall, I think it did a pretty good job of covering my redness, imperfections, everything it needed to cover. It looks really good and it feels very, very light on the skin. So now we're gonna go in on this side and we're going to use a brush, and that is the It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Complexion Perfection number 7 brush. And I'm going to apply some on the back of my hand like this. And then I am going to apply it on the cheeks and a little bit up here. Like so. Okay. Ooh, it's giving me good coverage. I do think it gives more of a full coverage finish with a brush. And I think it's because it's not like a damp sponge that kind of breaks through the coverage of a skin tint. And keep in mind, this is a serum like skin tint. We used up all the product. We just went in with one pump of it, but I think it covered all my redness. So I would say if you want more full coverage, I would go in with a brush. If you want more of a natural finish and you want to build it up a little bit, I would go in with a sponge. I think either way it looks great, but for that coverage, the brush is definitely going to give it to you, and it will give you good coverage. This side looks a little less radiant than this side with a sponge. So the side with the brush looks a little bit more nice and smooth than the side with the brush. If I had to pick one side to apply this product with, I think I would go in with a brush. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish up the rest of my makeup, then I'll come back, give you guys my very first initial thoughts, and then we can begin this wear test because I know that's what you guys are really excited to see. Let's see if this is worth our $36 or not. So keep watching. Okay, bonitas, I am back real quick because I wanted to show you guys how the foundation looks with all the products once they're on before we go in and set it. You guys know I don't think I mentioned this. I should have mentioned this when we were starting off. I always mention it, but I completely forgot. I've always been a very oily skin girl, but as of lately, I've been very oily skin T-zone and then more so dry cheeks because of my rosacea. It causes them to kind of get a little flaky and dry, so I have to really moisturize them, but mainly a very oily T-zone. So for me, I personally have to always set it with a powder, like a pressed powder, just to kind of keep it, you know, nice and matte. But before I did that, I did want to show you guys how the Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint Foundation looked just by itself with no type of pressed setting powder. The only area we went in with powder was the under eyes after we concealed them. That's what we have on the under eyes, but I wanted to show you guys how this looks before we powder it. And you guys can see it does have some dewiness on the skin. It's set really nicely. I went in with bronzer and everything to kind of warm it up because I did feel like it was a little tiny bit lighter. So I feel like now it looks great. Like it all really flows together very nicely, but I wanted to show you guys how this looks just without any setting powder so that you guys could kind of see if you do have oily skin. I think for somebody that has dry skin, I think you'll love that radiance, that luminosity. But for me, with a very oily skin T-zone, I just kind of like to set everything. It also is summer, so it's hot. So I need everything to just kind of lay nicely on the skin. So I think today for setting powder, I'm just gonna be using my pressed setting powder, the Charlotte Tilbury one. It's like a tried and true. I'm just gonna kind of tap off the extra and set everything nicely in place. I wanna see how it does when I set everything in place. Oh, also for our blush today, we did use a Danessa Myricks blush. We used this one right here in Rosé and Brunch. I love this blush. I feel like it really complements my complexion very nicely. You guys are seeing, like, this is the difference when you set it with a powder, with a pressed powder that is. And I have to say, I really love how this worked with all my products. That's one of the things that I love about a good hydrating skin-like foundation is that when you go in with the rest of your products, they layer on really nicely because it's so lightweight as opposed to going in with a super heavy full coverage product. Sometimes it can be just a lot on the skin, but esto se ve bonito. I do feel like the powder helps just kind of make the complexion look a little bit smoother, especially if you do have a lot of texture like me. So for me personally, this foundation doesn't smooth my skin, but like I said, I have a lot of texture, so it's gonna naturally look like this with any foundation. It isn't until I go in with like a powder or something like that where it'll definitely give me more of a blurred out finish. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys how that look once I go in with my favorite powder, because for me this is definitely a key essential step, is setting it. How well the Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint worked on the complexion. Definitely very fresh face, definitely very pretty. I feel like whether you want to leave it as is and have a more radiant finish, you can, or whether you want to add a powder to kind of just set everything into place, I think it'll do well with both types of products. So I really do appreciate that. Now we can begin the wear test. It is 3:59, about to be 4 p.m. and we're gonna wear this for the entire rest of the afternoon and night. I'll probably be back around midnight, to be completely honest with you guys, because I'm going to be going out and doing some stuff this evening. I think this is one of those products that's really geared towards that perfect everyday, very natural light makeup look. So we are going to test it out for that, but clearly you guys can see you can definitely build it up to a more I'm going out on a Saturday afternoon type of look, because it does build up very nicely. It does look very beautiful on the skin. It does give you that glam makeup look if you want to, but it can also give you that very natural look. So we love a good customizable, friendly product that just works for everybody and their needs for a skin tint. So I'm going to be wearing this for the entire day. I will do an in natural lighting clip. You guys can see how this product looks on the skin, and then of course our final thoughts of the day. So I will see you guys later. Stay tuned because you won't want to miss this, and I will be sharing my thoughts on this. Okay, bonitas, wait a minute. This in natural light se ve. It looks like gorgeous, healthy skin. And honestly, I feel like in natural lighting, once you put it all together, the color doesn't look bad. Because I was worried that it was a little too light with my studio lights and everything, but I feel like now seeing it all together, no se ve mal. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my Saturday, and then I'll come back at night, hoy en la noche, and we can talk about this. But wow, it does look... Right now it is 12:25 midnight, and I'm ready to give you guys my final thoughts. We definitely are looking dewy, especially around the T-zone where I typically get very dewy. So I feel like this one would be great for somebody who's looking for that radiance, for that skin-like finish, for that buildable coverage. I feel like if you do have things that need to cover, like texture or like enlarged pores, I would recommend wearing this with a smoothing primer. I think it'll look beautiful. So for me, I would definitely pair it next time with a smoothing primer to smooth out any imperfections. But I definitely do think this is geared for the person who is looking for some radiance, who's looking for that healthy glow, who wants that very natural skin-like finish. So if you want something matte or you don't like any type of radiance, this one probably won't be the one for you, especially for $36. Something else I want to point out that I really did enjoy about this is that it wears really well. Like, it didn't fade easily, and even though it's a skin tint, like, the longevity was good. So those are pretty much all my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Lets me know to continue doing my makeup reviews for you guys. That being said, I hope you have a fabulous day. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. And I'll see you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Adios, bonitas.